Relax. It's ASMR. Hey, come on in. Have a seat. Yeah, you can sit anywhere. Yeah, that is fine. You can sit over there. Well, thank you for coming in for this job interview. I am very excited to get started. We have a lot to go over, and I think that this is going to be very productive for all of us. So, yeah. So I have your resume here, but first thing I have to ask is, are you okay? Okay, yeah. I just have to say, you look a little unusual. You look different from what most of our candidates who come in here look like. Yeah, yeah. Your makeup is a little strange. It's not quite what we normally see, but here at Thingus Inc. Incorporated, we pride ourselves on looking past the exterior. We do not judge anyone about anything that is external. We are concerned with who you are as a person. Yeah. So, well, thank you for giving us the chance to really put that policy into action. So, yeah. But anyway, now that we got that out of the way, yeah. So you didn't do your makeup on your own. Yeah, I understand. Well, that may explain a lot. But anyway, let's get to your resume here. I'm looking through, and everything looks really good. I've kind of glanced over this before you came in, so I just want to make sure that everything here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. That looks good. I'm mainly just looking over your work experience and your qualifications and stuff like that. At Thingus Inc. Incorporated, we really pride ourselves on hiring the best of the best. We make a lot of things, and we pride ourselves on the things that we make. So I see here that you have experience making things, and that's good. That's good. It looks like the experience that you had will very easily translate into the things that we make. So, yeah. Particularly like here that you have had extensive work with doohickeys, and you've even had a little bit of experience with doodads. So, I think when we talk about making things, it's a little bit more complicated than either one of those, but having that experience with those items and doodads and thingamabobs, all that type of stuff, really helps contribute to a solid employee for Thingus Inc. Incorporated. So, yeah. 5 years with dingbats is good as well. I think we don't see a lot of that, but I know that dingbats can be tricky to work with. Yeah, how did you like that? Yeah? Okay. Well, that's really good. Yeah. Dingbats kind of hold a special place in your heart. That's sweet to hear. I hope that the things that we make here will also hold a special place in your heart. Yeah, I know they do. I know they do mine. I like many of the things that we make. Things are important to us here. So, okay. So I see there's a gap here in your resume of about 2 years. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So that was just some personal taking care of family and things like that. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm just going to make a note here of that. No, it's not a bad thing at all. Thingus Inc. Incorporated is very family oriented. We make things for individuals as well as families. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the kind of team environments that you have worked in the past, have you found those easy to work in? Do you prefer to work in groups, or do you prefer to work alone? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Teams can be challenging, but preferably you like to work with them when you can. Okay. Cool. Now, when you were working with Thingamabobs, did you find that work rewarding? I know that oftentimes making the jump from Thingamabobs to things can be a bit challenging. Yeah, okay. And because some of the habits that people get into working with Thingamabobs don't necessarily translate over to just things. We've had some employees who have made a lot of assumptions about the things we make based on their past experience, and we've had to kind of do some retraining on that. So, okay, that's good to hear. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, do you have any questions for us? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's some of the things that we're going to cover next, actually. We're going to give you a kind of tour of the plant so you can see some of the things that we make, and going to kind of give you just a very brief overview of what we do as we walk around the plant. But we'll cover all that in just a little bit. Good. But yeah, I like the way you think. Mm-hmm. We are the foremost maker of things in the world. So I think that you're going to find our organization to be a really good fit. There are plenty of things that we make, and no matter what kind of things you like, we probably make something that is exactly what you're looking for, or something very similar. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Things are what we do. We not only make things, but we do things. That's the kind of go-getting attitude I'd like to hear. Cool. So, well, from what I can see here, it looks like you're going to be a great fit for Thingus Inc. Incorporated. So, what I want to do now is kind of just give you an overview of what we're going to be doing over the next few minutes. It'll probably take about an hour, actually, to do the tour. But I want to give you kind of a layout of the facilities here. And then I want to kind of just give you a basic rundown of the type of things that we make. Okay? Awesome. Good. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is kind of just give you an overview of the campus here, the facilities that we have, so that when we walk around in just a little bit, you'll understand where we're going and how how everything is laid out. So first of all, you will remember as you drove in that you had the gates that you came through. Yeah, I mean, they're very impressive. It's hard to miss them. So, yeah, so the road kind of comes through here like this. So, yeah, you came in this way. And then over here was the parking lot. And then we have the really huge wall that kind of comes all the way around. And then you, of course, know the parking lot, which is where you are now. And we are here in this building. So the parking lot comes on like this. Yeah. So, and you have the front entrance where you came in. You have all the bushes in front. And then you have the conference room. So this is where we are right now. That'll help give you a little bit of a orientation to where we are. So, right behind this building is the original factory that was founded by Mr. Augustus Thingus himself. So, it's not very big. It's pretty modest. But we do love it. And there is a connecting sidewalk that comes from where we are to this building. So when we leave here, we're going to come down the hall, and we're just going to come down this hall here and head out. So this is the original little factory that Mr. Thingus built in 1922 to make his first thing. And we always say that the first thing is the most important thing. So, if you were kind of to see what was inside of here, we have the machinery kind of laid out like this right now. It's not nearly as crowded as it used to be, because it used to be everything we made came from this one building. But since we have diversified and really expanded the things that we make, there's a lot more room in here, and also the mechanisms and the machines that we use to make things have gotten a lot more efficient and a lot smaller. So we call this the first things building, and these first things are actually pretty small. They're little things that we make that we can ship around the world fairly easily. But even though they are small, they are very important things that people use every day in their lives. And it's kind of what we first became known for, is the little things that we would make. So this probably will be where you start. The principles that you learn making the little things will apply to all the different things that we make. So we'll come through here, and that'll give you a really good introduction of how the things that we make are made. And then we have our next building, which kind of looks like this a little bit. You'll notice it is a bit more modern. The next building that was built, and it was built in the 40s. So the really nice thing is we can come through here, and we'll come out here, and there's a nice little courtyard. That has flowers and bushes and trees. And it's a nice little place to have lunch, and it has some paths that kind of wander through the trees and the gardens. And there's a nice little picnic area right here. So it's accessible from both of these buildings. And there's another sidewalk that comes out here to the street. So this is where we make the important things. After we made the little things, we make the important things. And these are things that are crucial to keep everything running and held together. So we have offices here, and this is several stories. This is only one story. It's a very small building. This is 3 stories. So the offices in here, this is kind of like our office tower. So the important things are made on machinery. It kind of looks like this if you were to look at it from the overhead. So the materials come in here from either side, and then they are processed through here, and then they come out just like this. Yeah. And so we have control stations here, and we have the workers who are running the machinery all kind of are in that area. And then from there they can monitor everything. And this all is open because these machines are very tall. Now some sections of these take up almost the entire 3 stories. You'll notice that particularly in these corners here, they reach up and they actually go through the ceiling because this is where the exhaust and the steam are vented out into the 2 big smokestacks that you see coming off of this building. Yeah, they're quite impressive, aren't they? We're very, very proud of those smokestacks. We've painted them up and put our name on them, stretching in between. Here is where you see the big famous Thingus sign, as we like to call it. Yeah. Yeah, it has a little fancy mascot on it that flashes blue and red all throughout the night. Yeah. We find it quite comforting. So then all this back area here is the place where the important things are inspected and given rigorous testing and making sure that they are truly as important as we need them to be. So we have the workers kind of are placed all along, and the important things come by, and we check all of the important things. So then the next, and probably my favorite part, is the next building. And that takes up probably the largest portion of our facility. And this is where we make the big things. These are things that require a little bit more as far as shipping and handling and making sure. Sometimes a lot of the small things and the important things are then incorporated into the big things. So, and we have, these buildings are connected here, so we'll just come through here next. And this, the way this building is put together is everything comes into here, and then it kind of follows a path as things are put together and built and made from small things and important things to big things. And they come out here. And this is kind of our shipping and receiving. We can have trucks back up here. we can load them up. So this area here is kind of our warehouse. We can keep the big things in here for a little while, package them up, put them on pallets, and away they go onto our trucks. So, yeah. Well, that's a good question. We have basically things come through here, and we can also make the short trip from the important things to the big things this way. This is kind of the entrance for things that we bring in from the outside. Yeah. Yeah, well, you'll notice that we have some construction going on. And that is a series of buildings. We started with this one, which is nearly complete. And we are in the process of finishing up this one. And then you'll notice this one was just starting to be built. And this is the biggest innovation that I think we have contributed to the Thingus Inc. Incorporated universe. And it started out with this amazing idea that we make blue things. I know. And then we moved on, and we were just ready to bring online our red things. And then this one, when it is complete, is going to be yellow things. So, and this is probably the most exciting thing that I can tell you about, is very soon, with the combination of everything together, we are going to be able to start to make big blue things, big red things, and big yellow things. And all of these buildings hook together, and we can either transport them directly through into the big thing building, or we can just come straight from one building to the next. Because oftentimes we will put yellow and red and blue things together. I know. We just realized that we could do that just a few weeks ago. Kind of once we had started making the blue things and the red things, I started thinking about yellow things. So, yeah, and you'll notice, the entrances of the buildings are here. And then the road actually comes under this bridge. This is actually a bridge that connects these two buildings. And so the road continues on this way. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're excited about the things that we make. I think that you're going to be a great fit here. Yeah, this road kind of splits here. It kind of comes down this way. Oops. So that's kind of the layout of the thing loop here. And right now we just have some gardens, but eventually we want to build another office building in here. I think we've grown so big that we're starting to run out of places to be housed in this office, but we want to keep it since it's such an old historic building. And then we also have room here to expand if we wanted to put another building in. Yeah. Oh, that is an incredible idea. Yes, well, I think just based on that idea alone, you've proven to us, or at least to me, that you are truly Thingus Inc. Incorporated material. It's forward thinking like that we are looking for. Yeah, I definitely, in fact, I'm going to make a note of that right here on this map. I think making green things is a natural progression of where we are headed as a company. So I think in spite of, how you look and how you came in here, I'm really glad that we have had the opportunity to see beyond your makeup and the things that whoever did your makeup, just you need to not use that person again. But I do think that you're going to be a good fit here. So, yeah, well, let me say officially, welcome to Thingus Inc. Incorporated. I think you're going to do a great job, and I look forward to all the things that you're going to make. Okay. Awesome. Well, very good. I'll get the paperwork for you then right away.